Hello guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're returning. My name is Candy and I talk things witchy, tarot, oracle, art, sometimes dolls, often gardening, adventure tarot. It's all going on here. What have we got today? Today, if you want to see the final two decks from my bag of shame from years ago finally opened, and to celebrate all the decks being opened, then stick around because we have a tiny little 2-deck haul today, but it's also a celebration of the bag of shame being opened up. So the first deck that I'm going to open today is a bit of an odd one. Now this was again from the Hay House sale. It was bought at the end of 2020, I think, and I was on the Hay House website in the sale buying Christmas present oracles for my girls, and I put it aside for Christmas. It didn't end up getting wrapped for Christmas. Then I was on a no buyer, didn't want to open it, so this is kind of sat for a few years in what I called my bag of shame. Any decks that I bought, when I was trying not to buy decks on my first no buy year, I think I had about 15 to 20 decks that ended up being, for one reason or another, ending up in the pile. I wouldn't open them because I was supposed to be on a no buy year, so I put them in a bag and I told myself not open them until I had actually successfully completed a no buy year, which I did in 2022. So I had this bag of decks, and I've literally just put the scissors through the box. Don't do what I do when you open boxes. But I had a bag of decks that were sitting unopened, and these are the last two. So the Teachings of Abraham Wellbeing Cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks. I can't even remember why I bought this. It's a deck that encompasses gems of wisdom gathered from Abraham Hicks' teachings on practical spirituality. Each of these 60 cards will accentuate your natural state of being. Well, we all need well-being. We certainly do all need as much well-being in our lives as we can possibly muster. So we have a Dear Friends card. Words of new perspectives, words of an enlightening perspective, words that were once known but somehow forgotten. That's what these well-being cards are about. Words don't teach, life experience teaches. But with these Abraham Hicks words fresh in your mind, your every life experience will now be more meaningful to you. And that's a big claim, isn't it? Your every life experience will be more meaningful to you. And since nothing is more important than feeling good, nothing is more valuable than these processes which will allow more of your natural well-being to flow. Big claims there, Esther and Jerry Hicks. Of text on these cards, they're quite shiny, so you've got picture with the text at the front and text on the back. So let's just see how this works. So on this card it says, I see this day as a positive new beginning. It's never too late to have a new beginning. So that works whether you're having a good or a bad day, which I like. Then on the back it says, today and tomorrow can be very different from yesterday. If you can let yesterday go and focus on today. Great advice there. Today and tomorrow are about your now vibration, and you have complete control over that. Look for things to feel good about and watch how everything in your life will unfold to reflect that good feeling vibration. Yeah, well, I do like the message on that card. The thing that I panic about with these decks is it's all going to be too positive, and some days that just feels like a bit of a slap in the face. But I think that first card, you could read that and get something from it even if you were having a really bad day. So let's just see how this next card works. I am a physical extension of creative non-physical energy. Yeah, I can totally get behind that. And on the back it says, you are so much more than the physical body you have come to know as you. You are source energy. You are focused on the leading edge of thought. In this powerful now, You hold the key to allowing the source that is you to flow. The better you feel, the more you are allowing that connection. I can get behind that message. I would wonder what you would then do with that, whether you would just hold that as a thought in your head. Okay, I choose to be here in this glorious physical body. To be this me has been my choice. Oh gosh, I feel a bit called out by this one, guys, as somebody that doesn't speak very nice about my physical body. So you can kind of see the way that this deck works. And to be honest, it's all new to me too, because I bought it so long ago, I can't remember it at all. The law of attraction, the most powerful universal law, is my friend. You create with your every thought. By the universal law of attraction, that which is like unto itself is drawn. So this is like to like. So it won't be for you if you really can't get behind the idea of that power of attraction. Again, whatever I give attention to, wanted or unwanted, I am creating. I kind of get this and I can get on board with some of it, but I do still think that we're not responsible for all of the crappy stuff that comes our way. My purpose in life is joy. The basis of your life is freedom. The purpose of your life is joy. Why am I reading these feeling like I might be wanting to fight against some of it? I think possibly because life is tough, isn't it? And I'm always worried this is going to be so much like, well, you manifested it, like that victim blaming, which feels like gaslighting for me. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to have to spend time going through these cards and I will report back. But I love the layout. I love all the text on the cards. I know that's going to put a lot of people off. I love the artwork. I love the different colours. But I'm going to have to go through this. I think I might have to work with this and then come back and re-report. Deliberate creation. I like that. I make many decisions and then I make them right. So I like that idea of making decisions more than once and not needing to be perfect. I would get from that. My future isn't about my past. Life is only about now. Yes, I can get behind that. But having worked through years of post-traumatic stress disorder and triggers, again, I kind of can get it because of that, and also rail against it because of that. It's like a double-edged sword. So I do think this deck for me is confronting, but perhaps that's the unhealed bits of me. Perhaps this will help me get through the final obstacles. So we're talking about abundance here. Whatever abundance I seek is mine. Every emotion I feel is guidance from my adoring inner being. I like that. I can always reach for a thought that feels better. So yeah, I can totally get behind that. The harder I push against it, the more I attract its essence. Oh my gosh, I can get behind that. And that's been a new revelation for me. I want to feel good. We can all get behind that. I look for positive aspects in every experience. Yes, I often talk about mining events for gold. When I appreciate, I feel so very good. Yeah. The universe knows me and the universe adores me. I love that. Well-being is my natural state of being. Yeah. As I breathe deeply, I feel myself thrive. Yeah. See, I can beginning to see now why I bought a deck that I would at first glance think wasn't for me. I do like some of these cards. This is a glorious time for me to be on this earth. Do you know, I think, thinking back, I might have just flicked through the cards that I could see online on the shop. Perhaps there was one that really resonated. Oh my gosh, all is well. I love that. The mommy in me loves that. I choose my unique path to joy. I like that. We are all working towards the same goal, joy. I bless and appreciate every religion. It is not my responsibility to convince anyone of anything. I love that. It is not my work to control others. The recovering codependent in me knows all about control and treating people and events and circumstances as a chess game to stay 8 steps ahead of, because you've been trained to do that to keep safe. Letting go of some aspects of control and recognizing that in me was huge. I like the fact as well there's a butterfly on it, because I did have to transform myself to release myself from this. It says trying to limit anybody about anything defies the laws of the universe. It cannot be done. You cannot control others, but you can control and create your own reality. Yes, totally can get behind that. That's a path, a hard walked path that I've walked. Seeking approval of others hinders my joyousness. I can get behind that. I am selfish enough to want to feel good. Yet these are all the places that I've recovered to. These are benches that I've sat on the path through and out of the wild woods. It is contrast that puts the eternalness in eternity. Oh, I like that thought. By visualizing my desired outcome, the perfect action is always inspired. Yeah. Desire is the beginning of all creation. Love that image. My health and well-being are natural forever. My happiness is my greatest gift to others. Yeah, I do think that there's really huge aspects of this that are true. The measure of my success is my joy. I am life everlasting. I am an eternal being. Yeah. What's my big hurry? It's all for joy. All is well. Hurry now. Hurry for me has been something that I've had to recover from. It's a symptom of PTSD where we're constantly rushing in a panic, waiting for the other shoe to drop. So let's see what it says about hurry. What's the big hurry? You're not ever going to get it done. So what are you racing toward? Every single activity that you're involved in is for one purpose only, and that is to give you a moment of joy. That's why it all exists. Lighten up, laugh more, appreciate more. All is well. So that idea of being in the moment stops you from hurrying. So it is a message about stopping the hurry, which I like. Physical well-being is only one good thought away. Okay, so sometimes these great, because if you're ill, then physical well-being isn't one good thought away. You can't think yourself to a good physical place if you're ill. Let's see what it says. You could have every disease known to man within you today. And if you choose different feeling thoughts tomorrow, they would all leave your body. The key is to not give any unwanted thing much attention. When it doesn't feel good, turn your attention someplace else. Okay, we have a problem with this one. I have a huge problem with this one. Because choosing different feeling thoughts isn't going to make disease leave your body. I'm sure that positive thinking can limit the illnesses coming in, and I know that when I was completely lost in stress and trauma, it did physically manifest in my body. So I know that there's a link. I'm not disputing that. But I think to put on a oracle card that you could have every disease known to man inside your body, and that would all leave your body if you would just change your thoughts. I mean, if this was true, we wouldn't have people sick, and there would be no need for medicine. So I'm taking that one out. This is what I was worried about with this. There are some aspects of this that I love. There are other aspects of this way of thinking and this type of deck that I just cannot get behind, and that's one. I mean, having lost my dad to cancer, I cannot get behind this. Okay, but moving on, we can take cards out. This is taking what resonates, leaving the rest behind. So my joy doesn't depend upon the approval of others. That is really important. I mean, there are so many wonderful messages in here. I'm not going to let this one stop me accessing these. First, I seek joy or else follows. And again, I think as a single mom with a special needs daughter, and her needs and challenges are huge and take up a lot of my time, then I don't seek joy first. But I suppose I could seek joy within those challenges. Since your feeling of joy is your indication of your connection with your source, once you have achieved joy, you have achieved connection with your source, and under these circumstances, all that is good follows. On a good day, I could completely work with this message. On a bad day where challenges have me on my knees and no sleep has me on my knees, these are harder for me to access, but I'll leave that one in. To allow well-being, I must be in joy. I think there is a lot to be said for trying to find the positive in the moments, especially the challenging ones. I am not here to fix anything. I'm here for fun. Oh, again, the part of me just thinks, well, that's a very privileged position, isn't it? You are not here to fix anything because nothing is broken, but everything is continually changing and expanding. Release your struggle and seek joy and fun, and in doing so you will align with the fantastic expanding rhythm of the universe. But we do live in a universe that does have real brokenness in it, and I just think to ignore some of those broken areas is very entitled. I'm not sure about this one. I'm going to put that one out as well. What are you guys feeling about this deck or the cards that I've taken out? When I'm feeling good, I'm allowing in good. Yep, you can't shut out good and feel good. The main event isn't the destination, it's my joyous journey. Totally. As an artist especially, I can totally get behind that one. Anything I can imagine being, doing or having, I can be, do or have. Not sure about that one. Again, there's a lot of privilege into having anything that you can imagine. Not sure about that one. No one else needs to know this. Yeah, keeping things to yourself. I can get behind that one. I'm going to take that one out. I'm not sure about that one. How wonderful I am. Let's keep cards like that in every time. The secret of creating anything desired. Get happy. As you practice happy thoughts, you practice your connection with source and well-being. From the place of being happy, you have access to all that you desire. I don't know. Am I just a bitter 55-year-old? I could be. Perhaps this is possible. I'm going to have to take that one out. I don't know, so I agree with that. I look for more reasons to appreciate. Can totally get behind that one. There is nothing for me to guard against. You exist in a place of absolute well-being. Tell yourself that again and again. Know it. Be the evidence of it to give others reason to believe that all can be well. But there is nothing for me to guard against. I suppose if all your boundaries are in place and you trust yourself, but if you need boundaries, you have to guard against. I spent so long working on my boundaries, guys. I'm not sure about this one. I know I've worked too hard on boundaries to have a card that says that. Am I reading it wrong? Give me some advice in the comments. It is my dominant intent to look for what I want to see. Yeah, I can get behind that. Changing your lens on the world is really impactful. I can relax into my natural well-being. Yeah. The vibrations of my being influence the universe. Yeah, I can get behind that. I envision more and act less. As you take the time to find images in your mind that are pleasing, you will more often achieve vibrational alignment with all the things that you desire. From that alignment, you will experience more inspired ideas and assistance from others. Inspired action is very satisfying and extremely productive. I can get behind the message on the back. I think act less. that need for action is always there. I can kind of halfway get behind that. Through the corridor of my joy is the pathway to my desire. I like that one. I am learning that all problems resolve themselves. When you have a problem, desire exudes forth from you and source hears it and answers it immediately. I don't agree with that. Once you remove your attention from the problem, you then allow the solution. I can get behind that. Give birth to the question and let go and allow the answer to flow. Okay, it's probably just... Can I get behind this? Oh, some of these have got me thinking, which I suppose is good for a deck. So there's nothing for me to guard against. I just can't get behind that phrase. The secret of creating anything desired is get happy. I think that's privileged. Anything I can imagine being, doing or having, I can be, do or have again. Same stance on that. I'm not here to fix anything. I'm here for fun. I cannot get behind that. Physical well-being is only one good thought away. This is the card I have the biggest problem with. So out of 60 cards, I have 5 there that I'm going to take out. I think there were some lovely messages in that deck, and I'm going to have to leave it for a while because I'm still smarting a little bit from these, and I'll come back to the ones that I've left in. I might take a couple more of these out, but I think overall there are some really beautiful messages in there about gratitude and mindfulness and looking for solutions, not at problems, and changing the lens through which we view the world, which I think is all really very important. But I knew that one would challenge me. I just knew it. So really interesting. Let's put these that way up. And the big claims of the dear friends one. Okay, so still undecided about that one. Right, the very last one. Can you believe we are on the last deck from the Bag of Shame? And it is the Elemental Tarot by Caroline Smith and John Astrop, 2 of my very favourite deck creators. They also are the people behind the Moon Oracle and the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Both of those decks I showed recently. The Radiant Sun deck is another one from the Bag of Shame. So I had 2 by the same creators in that bag. Now this deck I wanted because of Renee over at Meadowlark Mystic. I've seen her work with this deck and I just fell in love with it. So I am a lot less stressed opening this deck than I am the well-being cards, I have to say. We have got, we have a bend in the cards. Never mind, they have sat in the Bag of Shame for a few years, so we will forgive it that. So the Elemental Tarot uses symbology of fire, earth, air and water to help you understand life. Now I really wanted to work with a deck that was more elemental because of a recent revelation around fire and water and generational witchcraft within my family, and a pull to bring a little bit of fire into a practice that I think is more water for me. So we are going to have a look at this. Now I am immediately confused because it says it's an elemental tarot, but is it a tarot? Okay, so those, right, okay, it looks like it is, right. It's just those court cards are on top. That was confusing me. Gosh, it doesn't take much to confuse me, does it? So I do have a slight warp in these cards, but I'm sure that will go with you. Oh, and look at this. There's a lot on these cards, which I love. So you've got a keyword, which I absolutely love, and you've got a phrase. Are these the majors? So you've got the Fool, the Trickster, which would be the Magician, and you've got the Virgin, which would be the High Priestess, and then the Empress, and the Empress, and Mother and Father, yeah, and the Hierophant, which is Pope, and the Lovers, which is choice. I love the fact that the keyword is choice on that. 7 is victory. We've got strength. So victory would be the Chariot card. The guidebook, you've got a lot of all the different signs explained, which is really good. And the key, you've got, look at this key to the card. So you've got an elemental name, Egyptian symbols, astrological symbols, card numbers if you want to work with numbers with it. You've got whether the god or the goddess that's linked, the elemental symbol, and then dual elemental symbol for family cards only. Okay, so when we get to the minors, there's loads going on. So number 9, we have Will and the Shaman. 10 is Fate. 11 is the Law. Love that. The Hanged Man. Death, which is transformation. There's so much on these cards to work with. I love it. 14 is Peace or Justice. The Devil, which is desire. Oh, hang on, I've got 2 cards there. Oh, love that Tower card. So survival, hear me, learn from my word, you who know me, I am the union and the dissolution. Oh my gosh, I love that. The Star with hope, I am substance and one who has no substance, do not be ignorant of me. Wow. And the Moon, illusion. The Sun, awareness. Judgment is forgiveness. The Eon is 21, synthesis. And then we have the Cups, the 1 of water, the 2, the 3. This is lovely. This would work really nicely with Tarot of the Spirit, I think. The 4. So look, you do have gods or goddesses named on these. The Chinese god of walls and ditches for the 4 of water and the moat. Assyrian goddess of waters and spring for the 2 of water. 5 of cups is sudden rain. Far, the African god of destiny. So there's a lot to work on. So the key phrase gone, but instead you've got working with numbers, all of these glyphs, and then a god or a goddess to bring something in. Loads to work on. I love that 9 of water. And Gaia, I love that one. What did they say that was on the family cards? They said that that one was the dual elemental symbol as well. So 2 symbols, 2 elemental symbols. So it's really different. Here's our air suit. I love the artwork. I think the artwork's incredible. These decks by Caroline Smith and John Astrop, they really do throw something completely different into the mix all the time. Honestly, there's something different thrown in. Love the colour palette though. Look at this colour palette. So I am fascinated. Yeah, I think this is going to work so nicely with Thoth or with Tarot of the Spirit. Just, it feels like it's got the same energy. I love clay as a 4 of earth. I love it. Or the Dark Goddess Tarot as well, I can see this working with, although there's a lot of gods and goddesses thrown into the mix then. So there are gods and goddesses that I just haven't heard of. Mother of Earth, Jeremiah, the earth in winter. And then finally we've got the wands. So we've got the Ace, Ishtar as the 2 of fire, Vesta for the 4 of fire, the Roman goddess of domestic fire. So it's not one that I can say much about right out of the box, just flicking through, because you can see it's going to need some work around. I'm just going to have a look in the book and see how much of the god or goddess story is in the book. Odin, one I actually recognise the name of. Love the artwork, I love it. Right, let's just have a look at the minors in the book. So it doesn't tell you in detail about the story of the god or goddess, so there's an element there that you could then do your own research from it. So you've got there's Celtic cross in the back, and I'm looking at the spreads because I know with the moon oracle the spread is really important. So you do have an elemental spread in here. Fire, what I want to do. Earth, what do I have that can help. Air, what do I think about it. Water, how do I feel about it. And spirit, how will it turn out. Then you have an astrological spread with different houses as the positions. The questioner, possessions, brothers, sisters, neighbours, travel, home and family. That looks interesting actually. And then a quick key to the cards in the back. So you can see the majors had the keywords and planetary pairs. And then the minors had a card name, which I suppose acts like a keyword. It has keywords in the book but not on the card itself. And planetary pairs. Then we've got all the Egyptian symbols on the back. Loads and loads to work on. So it's really interesting. So guys, those were different, weren't they? That was really different. The Elemental Tarot, and a slightly more controversial, I think, Wellbeing Cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks. I'd love to know what you think about these two. They're very different, I know. Leave me a comment if you've got any opinions. Let me know what you think about the cards that I took out, or any cards that caught your eye in that one too. I'd love to know whether I am just being overly picky or whether you agreed with some of that. So guys, thank you so much for watching the unboxing now of all of the decks that had ended up in a bag of shame. We're done. So excited I've got these decks open. It's nice going towards a new year with some new decks to play with. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.